There's a lot of people out there that want to make money, but I think most of us in network marketing, we want to make money, but we want to make money residually. We want leveraged income. We want freedom. It's going to be amazing, and I'm sure a lot of you know who Ray Higdon is. If you don't, maybe you just got started in network marketing like a minute ago. He's one of the best trainers and coaches in the profession. He was actually just on stage, and actually my wife and I, Nadya and I, have been in network marketing now 17 years, and we were six-figure earners for 10 years straight, and then we joined Ray Higdon's Top Earner Club, I want to say about 3+ years ago, and it changed the game for us. So I owe a lot of debt and gratitude to Ray Higdon and Jessica. The two of them have really revolutionized the way network marketing is done on social media. And I'm going to put Ray on the spot tonight, ask him some good questions for all of you. I'm excited to have you here. And obviously you talk a lot about all things social media, all things network marketing, but I wanted to specifically pick your brain when it comes to social selling, marketing, generating leads, creating curiosity. And I know you've done some great trainings for our team inside of some of our communities. I would love for you to talk a little bit, first of all, really about what you see in network marketing these days and the importance of mastering the selling conversation.
There are more consumers than there are consumer entrepreneurs. And a lot of people, they show up to network marketing for who they are, and that's how they think everyone else either is or should be. And the truth is, most people shouldn't lead with opportunity. If your friends and family members or people you're connected to on social media have never, y'all don't discuss the latest entrepreneur magazine, Forbes, Inc., Fortune, you don't watch Shark Tank and talk about that, then it's kind of weird for you to just say, hey, let's make some money. And that's a little strange, whereas there's more consumers than there are consumer entrepreneurs. So just in duplication matters, more people are able to talk about product than opportunity. That doesn't mean lead with the product, and if they say no to the product, then just drop the conversation. You can bring up the opportunity, but more people should lead with the product. It's actually a lot easier in all of marketing as well as social media to lead more with benefits of a product than it is just making money. When you're going toe to toe with how to make money using the internet, you're up against a lot of competition. When you're talking about some kind of product benefits that you received yourself or someone that that's a much different space. It's much different, like you saying, hey, reach out to me if you want to know a way to make some extra money, versus, hey, I've been on this program for 14 days, I lost 4 pounds, I'm feeling great. Like, one just sounds more natural and the other one is just maybe a little bit strange.
I still see a lot of spamming, right? You see these spammy Stanleys out there that they get excited, they're drinking the freaking Kool-Aid, they're probably like bathing in it, and they're so excited about their product, and every post is about their product or even about their opportunity, and they get no engagement except from the people already in the deal. And it's totally ineffective. And again, this is what you're duplicating if you're doing this. So what do you see that's most effective for the people out there winning and the companies doing it the right way?
It does kind of start at the top. There's a lot of top earners never maybe took the time to learn marketing even. And so they're used to talking about the company and the product. And so people in their team are seeing what they're doing and duplicating that. And the problem is the non-realization of the distinction between the two. So if you're someone with influence and you're someone that has a large team, you're what we would call a big hat. And so a big hat can do certain things, and even if it's intellectually lazy, they may get engagement, right? The little hats, the people without social followings, without influence or without anything like that, when they try to do big hat strategies, it doesn't work at all. And they wonder, well, how come they did it? And they get all kinds. Well, like you said, they're getting comments from their team. They're not getting comments from prospects. That influencer needs to understand that, hey, is what I'm doing, if I'm in a glass house and all of my team is seeing this happen and they did this exact same thing, would it net them any results, or would it just look spammy? We call it the marketing bicycle, right? Not bicycle, but bicycle. Most people aren't ready to buy your thing, period. But you marketing the name of the company, the name of the product assumes that they are. And so it actually creates resistance. And so if someone hands me a coupon to something that I don't want to buy, then I have resistance. I'm like, oh, no, thanks. I don't want the coupon, right? And that's kind of like mentioning your company over and over and over on social media. And again, people without influence are copying that, and it's not working for them. And so what will always work, and this is a concept, right? A concept is something that's timeless. It's something that will work on Instagram, will work on Facebook, will work on hologram, will work on exchangeogram, will work on wherever. It's talking about the benefits of a product, and it's talking about what does it do, and that's the benefit. What it is, most people don't really care about. They care about what it does. What will it do for me? How will it make me feel? How will it help me reach my goals, attain my desires, solve my problems? And so that kind of stuff will always work. And so curiosity posts will always work. And a curiosity post should not have the name of the company, the name of the product, because when you say that, all you're saying, here's how it's being translated. I'm trying to sell you something, or hey, if you're interested, just look on Amazon or eBay or Google. There you go, guys. Go do your own independent research. And when they go do their independent research, they're not going to come back to you and say, you know what, I've done my research and I've concluded that I would like to purchase your product. No, they're going to get lost in the sauce. They're going to go to Google, Amazon, eBay. They're going to find expired products for cheaper, and they're going to find something comparable that's half the price. And they're going to go do that thing and not ever come back to you. And you won't even know they were ever even interested. And so the most powerful thing is for you to act as a gatekeeper, for you to talk about the benefits that has helped you, that have helped other people, and then people reach out to you and they have to, like, what is it? Like, what are you talking about? So now you're entered into a conversation, and you can at least check them off on your little follow-up box because you can follow up with them. I want it to not be so obvious. And so if I say, so proud of my girl Sally, started our program 14 days ago, has already lost 4 pounds, way to go, girl. That's not a, hey, please reach out to me if you want more information. Hey, a comment below if you'd like. Because as soon as I put that in there, it's like, okay, you wrote this so that you would get leads. Got it, network marketer, right? And so if I just edify someone, I'm so proud of my girl Joanne. You know, Joanne is a grandma, and she started taking our product, and she was struggling to keep up with her grandkids, and now her knees feel all better, and she's chasing them around like crazy. Man, Joanne's fired up. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can say things like that and you laugh, but man, you'd have grandmas lined up out the door saying, what the hell is she taking? And so do those things without a call to action. And people will, I mean, they'll be like, man, what is he talking about, man? I really wonder, because they don't know. And if you've done a good job and it's not you drinking it in the profile picture or anything like that, then they won't know. They have to reach out to you. What's their other option? What's their other option? Are they going to Google, what is Sally taking? Right? They can't. They can't Google that. You don't know what to Google. And so I don't want to give them enough information for them to do their own independent research. I want them to reach out to me.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And can you maybe elaborate on, let's say somebody gets a lead, right? They have somebody they love the comment, but they don't maybe, say, hey, what is it? Or they don't message them. Or maybe they drop a comment like, wow, that's amazing. But it's not really like, they're not saying, hey, I want some information, or they're not reaching out. And then, they're like, okay, I got that engagement. What now? So maybe you could touch on what you teach.
It just depends on, what size of hat and influence you're at. And so if someone just likes it, then I'll reach out to, hey, I saw that you liked my post about Sally. I didn't know if you liked it because you're, looking to lose some extra weight or not. If you're open, if you're wanting to take a look, I'm more than happy to share it with you. If not, no big deal. Any kind of prospecting, I would always, always, always include, are you open, and give them an out. So, hey, I saw that you like this. If you're open, I'm happy to share it with you if you'd like to see it. If not, no big deal, right? So I'm never like, oh my God, you should totally do this, right? Which is what some people do, and that's not very smart. And so, use whatever intelligence you have and use that, with them. Use the information that you have. Don't just start from scratch. Some people will discard the information that they have and be like, hey, are you looking to blah, blah, blah? No, don't do that.
You know what? People want that engagement, right? You kind of touched on this earlier. It's like they don't go to Facebook to buy, right? They go to Amazon to buy. Facebook, they're going on there to socialize and connect with people. You got to be a human first, marketer second. I learned, that years ago when I first got on social media, and you were probably one of the biggest ones that really teaches people how to do it the right way. But you also need to be on there to make money. We can't get distracted. We can't
Right.
get, scrolling for days and posting and praying and not doing the money-making activities. We're all about the ATM system, right? Using private groups to expose people to our products and opportunity. That's something we're real big on. So let's say somebody is using that ATM system, or they're using some type of tool, right? We would say, don't be a fool and use a tool, right? And they're finding something to explain the information versus you doing it. But what are you telling people for, the ones that are out there, they're getting into conversations, they're in inboxes, right? They're having the conversations. Someone reaches out to a prospect. The prospect's like, yes, ATM me, add me to that group, or send me that link, or invite me to your home meeting, whatever it is. What are you seeing from there, that transition to really increase the conversion so somebody's doing it the right way and not coming off as like commission breath?
The exposure needs to be something external of you. And this is why actually a lot of very savvy salespeople struggle in network marketing, because they'll look at the ATM or they'll look at even a video and be like, I can sell better than that. And it's like, oh, okay. And so they'll go and they'll use charisma, persuasion, NLP, ABC, and they'll do all these different things and get them to, get someone to sign up. The problem is that most people aren't able to do that. Everyone needs to get, I went through this mechanism, whether it was ATM or a video or webinar or sizzle call or whatever that is. I went through this thing and then they asked me questions. And you can even point out, if you know that someone has a little bit of interest in the opportunity, you may not know that, but if you do, you can say, hey, this thing I'm about to expose you to is also the thing that you would use if you ever wanted to build a business. Now, if you do that, it's actually very magical, because it has them go from, okay, do I like this thing, to, wait a minute, can I get people to go through this thing? If you want massive duplication, you need to really embrace these words. All I do is. All I do is I add people to this group, I point to this thing, and this is all I do, and that's all you would do, right? Or all I do is I share this video with them. Some like it, some don't. I follow up with them and see if they want to do it. And so it would always be pointing to that video. And the beautiful thing about that is I said, use the information that you have in your recruiting. So if I know someone has watched the video or allowed me to add them to a group or whatever, I can use that information.
Let's say somebody's like, okay, yeah, man, look, this looks great. Yeah, I like it. I just, I don't really have the money, or, really busy. And that might not be the objection you get when somebody is just looking at the product, but, it's a good one to overcome. And, obviously there's 1,000 different objections, but there's really just a few versions of what is actually holding them back. The money, the belief, the, will this work for me, the time, that sort of thing. And I know you have some pretty easy ways to just overcome those objections, because I think if people get better at overcoming the objections, they're going to get better sales, better conversions, and ultimately doing it the right way and letting them make the decision versus you trying to convince them that this is the right thing.
The main thing is manage the energy of the conversation. And so, if they're pulling away, then you need to manage that energy. And so if someone's saying, I really don't have the time, depending on the context, I might say something like, well, when's that going to improve? Like, when are you going to be able to improve your time, or is there no plan for that ever to get better? Right? I might ask that question. If they say, I don't have the money, my first question would be, well, let me ask you this. If you had the money, would you do it? Because I don't need to go further if they say, nah, not really, right? I'd be like, okay, cool, next person. But if I say, well, let me ask you this, if you had the money, would you do it? Now that's a very safe question, because they don't have the money, right? Or at least they're saying this. And so it's a safe question. So if they're even mildly interested, they'll say, well, yeah, because they think you can't overcome that. And so then I'll ask the question of, okay, cool, got it. Well, how far off are we? Yeah. And so most people, they battle the entire amount. So if it's $500 or whatever that amount is, $1,000, $300, whatever that is, they'll battle the full amount. Well, how do we get you $300? You don't got to get them $300. You got to get them. How far off are we? They may need $40. They are.
I would love for you, if you're cool with it, maybe elaborating also on retention, because bringing in the customers, what do? Do we have to coach them and make sure they're using the products every day? Do we have to call them up? And Like, what is it that you see? And by the way, please don't do those things, guys. Don't call your customers up every day and say, hey, are you using it? Are you using it?
Yeah.
But if you could maybe touch on and share with us a little bit what you've seen some of these better customer getting leaders do for retention, I'd love to hear that too.
I'll tell you the number one mistake that leaders make in network marketing is they overassume the level of desire of the people in their organization. And they assume that everyone, just because they want to make $1 million a year, they assume that that's what everyone else wants to make. And so too often they push people past their level of desires without them knowing their level of desire. And they instead of what they're trying to do is create fervent, business builders. But what they're often doing is making people realize that they may not be a fit for the team, or they may be letting people down, or they may be a disappointment, and that's why they leave. If someone's in your team and they are getting the product every single month and they never recruit a soul, how do they feel? Is it obvious that they're going to feel a little weird because everyone else is talking about recruiting? And it's why gym owners are usually a lot smarter than most network marketing leaders. Is if someone goes into the gym and they work out for 4 minutes on the treadmill and then get a 2,200 calorie shake and then walk out the door, the gym owner isn't challenging them saying, hey, where's your results, bro? Lift your shirt. Right? They're like, thanks for coming. They don't care your level of desire. They just don't want to piss you off. They don't want to make you feel bad and have you leave the gym and stop your membership. And so that's the number one thing that leaders need to learn, is that not everyone is at the same level of desire. And so treat it, like you were talking about, treat it like a campfire. Keep them around the campfire and they may catch a spark. But even if they don't, do they feel good being part of your organization, or are they made to feel less than?
Actually, some of your social marketers, your network, your distributors, the people in your network, the people on your team, like, they're not really a distributor, right? Like, they're really a customer, meaning they don't show up on the calls. They're not, they're not ATMing their face off. They're not prospecting. You know what? They just want to have some friendships. They want to be a part of something bigger than what
Make them feel good.
Got going on, right? It's a positive environment, but they're maybe just a customer, right? It might say distributor, right? Marketer next to their name in the system. They may have signed up with the intent on building, but they fell in love with the community, the people, and the products, and that's okay. But you know what? There's ways to support the whole team. And I don't know if you care to touch on kind of like, just to wrap up on how you see the best people you coach and the companies you work with. What are you seeing them doing on the community side? Like, you talked about the customer group, and I saw some people that were interested or intrigued by that.
As far as for customers, it's adding value, making them more of a community versus an independent just customer lonesome out there. And so adding value, and I would locate personalities in the customer groups, because there are certain personality types that are, they love to serve. They love to corral people. They're the cheerleaders. And so it doesn't have to be, I would not task my leaders with that. I wouldn't say, all right, leaders, get in there and mix up some, bread pudding recipes or whatever. I would find people that are cheerleaders and have them lead the group and cheerlead them and get excited. And people will do that and love to do it. As far as on the team side, first of all, real quick analysis, look through your team and ask yourself, what percentage of posts have to do with recruiting or sales? And if it's over like 80%, like most groups, then you need to fix some things in there. And so what is the mission? What charity are you, corralling around? What are you doing to celebrate someone's anniversary or birthdays or welcoming people or things like that? How are you recognizing people between ranks, like people that are doing the activities but maybe not rank advancing just yet? And so look at, is everything like, here's the next team call, here's how to prospect someone, here's how to follow up, here's the comp plan. If everything is about, then what are you saying? If I go to a gym and every poster on the wall is some like ripped to shreds, right? Just animal, staring at me the whole time, that I may think, man, maybe I'm not in the right gym, right? If I'm not in ripped ass shape like them. And so, what are your posters on the wall? What is it saying? Is it talking about customer testimonials? Is it talking about how, Betty's feeling better and she went to the high school reunion and people gave her a compliment, right? And so like, testimonials, how people are made to feel about the product, what's the mission y'all are on, are you guys meeting and having barbecues and pool parties? Like, how are you all operating as a unit, as a family, regardless of rank, regardless of pen, regardless of, you know, how much money someone is making, how much someone isn't. And so that's the fire. That's the campfire where you keep people around so they never, ever leave.
And you know what? It's amazing how you can find some of those types of ideas. Some of the best ideas will come from your team. You know, how simple it is, really. It's like, have fun, create community, you know, make it more than just the top sellers and the top recruiters. And when you start doing that, you're like, you see the engagement, you see that more people want to contribute. And, you know, it's just fascinating how you can really create something without even realizing it. That's just so normal that creates that human behavior that we all want to be a part of something like that. Right. And that's part of why actually, when I built offline, why some groups would do so well, because they would have the cookouts after the Saturday training, right? They would hang out outside of the meetings. They'd go out to dinner afterwards. And that was where they really, you know, they'd break bread, you know, have some good laughs, some good times. And I think it's just so important to remember that when you're building online, sometimes you don't have that human connection. And there's ways you can do it, and you don't have to physically spend time with someone in order to create that. So best training ever.
Awesome.
Well, I'm glad you guys got value. Share this, tag anybody you know. Drop Ray some heart, some love. Let him know that you appreciate it. Make sure you tag him. And Ray, we appreciate all you do for the profession, my man.
Yeah, my pleasure. All right.